you guys read by the thumbnail and title is true. This is a this is a very hard video for me to make. This is not something that I was ever planning to sell when I first got the car. We all know that I wanted to build my YouTube channel off of this car, but things are changing. This car is what really made a name for my YouTube channel and my brand Risen and Instagram and all of that, but this car has reached its limit. There isn't too much more to do. I'm super happy with how the car came out. Looks really nice. It's, you know, all done, and we're focusing on the race car, and we got the GTR and then Alyssa's car. But there is something else that I've had my eyes on for a very long time. In fact, it's actually the car that got me into cars. It happens to be my favorite car of all time, and it's a JDM Legend, and it is finally going to be able to be purchasable next year. So I'm gunning for that. I'm kind of just over the whole building my car for the car scene thing. I know that I built this car to me, my inner racer. Clearly this shows a lot of character of who I am, but I am at that point where I want to build a car that's super clean, super OEM plus spec, something that I can trust and rely on every day as a daily street driver. This has been reliable, it's been good, but I do stress every time I drive this car because there's a lot of moving components that don't belong on the car. So yeah, I'm pretty much over this car at this point. I know a lot of you guys love this car and don't want to see it go, but I'm at the point where the only thing I can do to this car is boost it. If I were to put 5 to 10K into an S15, I would definitely enjoy that a lot more than just boosting this BRZ. The car is wide-bodied, bagged, all that good stuff, that to the point where it is ruined. I can't exactly fully enjoy this car as I would if I built a car for the street rather than a car for show. I would have loved to keep this car. Financially, truthfully, I can't afford to keep this car and get an S15. In fact, I can't even really get an S15 right now until I sell this car. So I'm going to be selling this car, keeping the race car until the S15 gets here, and then the race car's fate is not determined yet. I'm very indecisive. It might even happen where I keep this car. I don't know. I don't think, no, I'm not keeping it. You guys don't understand. I have dreams about the S15. It is the car that me and my uncle had talked about before he passed away that I would get, and we would be a Nissan family. It is the exact car that I've always dreamed about ever since I got into cars, and lately I keep having vivid dreams about the S15. So I don't know why, but what I do know is I want to build the best S15 I can. I want to do a super clean setup, OEM body kit only, put it on some coilovers, and then put some really expensive wheels on it, and then just make a modernized interior. No wide body, none of that shit. Just want to keep the car as clean as possible with JDM parts all over. And that's just like the ultimate JDM car dream for me, and this is the complete opposite of that, which I love this car. It looks so good. It's just not doing it for me anymore, and I know I got bored of it fast, but this wasn't all for nothing. This car got me a super long way. I'm super grateful for it, and I'm super happy with it, but this is just not for me anymore. Nor do I know if it ever was, because if you guys didn't know, I used to have an FK8 Type R, which was a JDM Legend as well, and I ended up selling that to get this car for YouTube, and that's what I did. Now that I have some sort of presence on YouTube, I'm ready to build a car how I truly want to build it. And I am happy with how this car came out. Don't get me wrong, don't say that I'm selling this car because I built it wrong. I built this car exactly how I would have built this car. It's just not the car that I want to be building anymore. So I'm going to be letting this one go. I'm going to sell some of the parts off this before I sell it because I want it to be as rigid and functional for the new owner. Obviously the body kit has to all stay on, the wheels, it's going on coils, and then I'm getting the wing holes filled with a duckbill, and then the hood does flop a little in the wind because it doesn't have hood pins. I want that to be solid as well. So we are going to get to see a little bit of a OEM spec version of this car, a more solid and rigid form. Like I said, I might fall in love with that, but I'm not keeping the car. So I am going to be getting this car back to a more solid state. But as I go into that process, if somebody decides they want to buy it throughout the process and just buy it as is, I will sell it. I am asking around 35K. The car is 30K MSRP, but it does have a lot of mods on it. So as of right now, I would sell it for around 35K. It has the Anovia wheels, the full Adro body kit with the wing, HRS taillights, Save-On hood, Flyyair suspension, and then Brom interior, billet work short throw, and then a bunch of other stuff like chrome tint and stuff, and Cadillac brakes. A lot of those are gonna come off, and I'm just gonna keep lowering the number so that I can sell this car at a more sellable price for somebody and something that's more worth it for someone. But at the very minimum of it, I'm going to be selling the wing and the air suspension, and then probably seeing if I can sell the car as is, just so I can make sure I make my money back on the more bigger investments, and then the rest of the car will go as a whole. So yeah, pretty bittersweet video. I already know a lot of people are gonna be upset about this one, but it's just something that I have to do. Thinking from a business perspective, the channel, the car is running out of content to do to it. I'm not a mainstream YouTuber who can just keep this car and buy a bunch of cars. I don't make much off the channel, so everything I do, everything I own has to be incorporated to the channel and has to benefit the channel. So this car has to go, and honestly, long term, I don't see myself owning this car forever. I never did. It's not my dream car. Like I wouldn't see this car in my dream garage. In my dream garage, I would see S15 GTR McLaren 720S. Nowhere in that picture do I see BRZ, but I don't know. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sure a lot of you guys are upset. This is a financial and a business decision for me, and I'm ready to move on and move on to the next build. We're gonna focus on the race car in the meantime until we get the S15. Once the S15 is here, we will determine what we're doing with the race car. Delali Selassie, your wheels and tires are here. I don't know if you guys remember that Focus ST we got picked up by in Orlando, the two twins, that we are going to be fully customizing their car, as I mentioned in that video. They got wheels, tires, suspension, exhaust, a whole bunch of other stuff that's already here. If any of you guys like Ford Focuses STs, then you will enjoy the upcoming content. But it's a few hours later, and we have some things to talk about. All right. Now that the wheels are inside, as some of you guys may know, I am a very indecisive person, which is why letting go of the 22 BRZ is going to be really hard for me, but it is something that I feel needs to be done, as I had already talked about. But will we really sell the car? I know we've been talking like we are, but I will tell you what the steps are right now. Tomorrow we are getting rid of this wing. The wing is leaving the car, and we are no longer going to be running this wing, simply because that's one of the pieces on the car that I feel like makes a drastic change to the car, that I'm curious what it looks like without the wing. It might look a lot uglier, it might look a lot cleaner. I'm sure a lot of you guys think this is stupid, but this is a part that I'm going to be getting rid of because I do feel like it is higher in value to sell separately than with the car if I were to sell the car. Same with the bags. I would want to sell the bags separately, not with the car. Everything else would stay as is, and I would have those holes filled, and I would get a bigger duckbill on the car so it would look clean still. But that does leave the issue of when this car is on coilovers and this car has a duckbill, it will still look really good. But we also have Gatlinburg coming up this year, and that is coming up in September, October time. And I am a booth car for Fitment Industries with Gatlinburg, and this car, even with the coilovers and without the wing, would still qualify as a Gatlinburg car. So do I keep the car until Gatlinburg, or do I sell it beforehand? And Gatlinburg is one of the biggest experiences in the car scene, if you guys haven't heard, where only the nicest builds get in, and they all compete, and basically the whole town is covered in car enthusiasts. So that's something that I am interested in going to, even if I don't have this car. It's also awesome because you get to drive in the mountains with all the beautiful scenery. So I would like to also bring the race car when it's done. Now that makes this the interesting part, the race car. So what's left on this race car is going to be adding all the suspension components so that this car is fully road safe, because it is currently missing sway bars, end links, control arms. Like, it's missing a bunch of stuff that I guess was taken out for drift, but we're turning this into a track street car. So we're gonna put all that back in, upgraded stuff, coilovers. The whole body kit needs to get fixed by Abraham, as you guys know, and then we will be rewrapping the car. And then we are probably going to relocate the turbo and make the hood exit an actual catback. That way the car can be more dailyable when I have to daily this while I wait for the S15, which makes things even more complicated. Do I just finish this car now and sell the bags from this car and the wing, and then sell this car and use that money to buy the S15, because then I would have an S15 and a clean BRZ still, which is on coils and still a cool setup? Or do I just get that car back to a reverted form and then sell that car and then keep this car until the S15 comes in, then sell this car and then upgrade the S15? I don't know. There's so many different things I could do with the cars that it's kind of complicated at this point. I don't know what to do. I know one thing, the end goal is S15 no matter what. I gotta have one. So one of these cars gotta go. I know that financially the 22 would be the best car to go for me, because that car still has a payment on it. If I got an S15, it'd be fully paid off. This car would be a really cool project that needs to be built on the channel still. That's content. That car is pretty much already done, unless we milk the content and revamp the car, do the coils, the duckbill, maybe rewrap the car or get the body kit paint match, like just make things, just touch things up to where that car is like an OEM spec wide body BRZ, which would probably make it sell for more. I don't know right now. I'm glad I'm daily vlogging so you guys can see my indecisiveness. I'm sure this frustrates the hell out of a lot of you, but it's just who I am. I'm sorry. So between the race car and the 22, I don't know what the plan is. I really want to attend Gatlinburg in the show with the 22, but if I don't, then I'll just bring the race car and enjoy the drives around the mountains. But I do feel like it is the best move to go ahead and sell the wing and the bags and take the car to Gat, so I can still enjoy this car at its last big show that it can get into. Because after this car, I don't know if I'll have a car that's show worthy again, at least Gatlinburg standards, because the S15 I want to build to a street standard. I don't want to build it as a blown out show car with wide body and all that other stuff, so we'll have to see. But it's so nice, and I'm excited to see a different form of it before we sell it. So this is not its final form with the duckbill and the coils. I don't know what else we could do to it to make it more OEM spec. I'm gonna try and get the airbag light deleted from the aftermarket seats, because I'm sure that's gonna irritate whoever buys it next. And then I'm thinking about either paint matching the body kit to the car so it can all be black, but then I feel it might be too boring for the new owner. So I was thinking about wrapping it like satin gray before Gatlinburg so it can look really aggressive and toned down, because I'm pretty sure this baby blue is not a lot of people's taste, it's just mine. But I don't know, guys. This is all I have for today's video. I'm sorry I didn't get to vlog as much as I usually do today. You guys didn't see as much of my life today, and that's because I was focusing on shop stuff in the back. I just wasn't recording for, but that is all I have for you guys today. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm so sorry about this. We will be seeing the car still for another couple months. I just wanted to put you guys in the same headspace as I am right now. This is not me getting bored. This is not me like not liking the wing or the bags. I'm going coils and I'm going duckbill so that the car is a lot more OEM spec, safe for the new owner, blah blah blah. I've repeated that over and over. Also, these parts will be able to get me a good down payment on an S15. See this like a little sacrifice in order to make a step forward without getting rid of the car fully, to kind of gauge what I can do here. But I'm just putting money towards the new S15 that we're going to be getting for the channel, and we're just going to be making it happen and holding on to everything we have here. It's just not possible for me. So yeah, sorry this is a little bummer of a video. Who knows, maybe things will blow up, maybe the channel will blow up, shop will do even better even though it's doing well. I might be able to just keep both cars and the S15. That's why I kind of want to slowly sell the parts, and then get the S15, and then just kind of gauge it from there, see what I need to get rid of. I'm not opposed to getting rid of any of them. I don't have a soul attachment to any of them. I do love this one, I do love this one, but I'm willing to make sacrifices for the bigger picture. So if this is something I need to do to move further, then that's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to hold myself back just because I want to hold on to all the things that I have. You know, I can let things go to temporarily grow further, and that's kind of where I'm at right now. I hope you guys are excited about the S15 reveal. It's literally my favorite car of all time. I've said it a million times. See, even Anovia knows it's my favorite car. It's just such a timeless car. And the way we would build it is we would go for a white one with a OEM spec only body kit, modernize the interior, and put some expensive wheels on it. We're not even there yet. I'm so excited, but that is all I have for you guys today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and don't forget to never stop dreaming.